You can win if nobody believes in you, but you'll never win if you don't believe in you. And my goal as a leader is to help people believe in themselves. And the best way to do that is to help people recognize their own gift. Today, I want to talk about something that's going to help you increase retention. If you are in charge of any type of team, whether it's you're leading a team in business, you're leading a sales team, you're coaching a team in sports, whether you're leading a church or a congregation, doesn't matter what it is, what I'm going to go over with you is going to help. Because one of the biggest things that businesses struggle with, sales teams struggle with, organizations struggle with, is the retention of their people. And one of the reasons that people fall off is because they don't believe that they can do it. People typically quit anything they do because either A, they don't feel like they can do it, and or B, they don't feel like they belong. And what I want to address specifically today is the number one. They don't feel like they can do it. And what I want to go over with you is some things that you can do mentally with them that can help them have more confidence in their ability to get a result. Because our ability to keep people around for long periods of time is what leads to growth. It's what leads to your business scaling, your team scaling, and it's ultimately what leads to the highest levels of fulfillment for you as a leader. Because the greatest compliment as a leader is watching your people win. But if people don't stick around long enough to win, now we're struggling. Now we're dropping the ball from a leadership sense. So what can we do? What can we do to keep people? I want to go over a 3-step process. It's super simple, super easy, isn't complicated, and it's going to be short and sweet. So number one is you need to identify people's strengths. You need to identify the strength that they have, okay? Not a surface level strength, not, oh, you have a nice smile, none of that, okay? I'm talking about genuine strengths that not only you see in them, but a strength that they see in themselves. And then what you want to do is number two, you want to speak it out. You want to say, hey, listen, I've identified this strength that you have. And this is why I think you can win. This strength right here is why I think you have everything in you to go win. This is why I believe that you're going to be a success story. If you do X, Y, and Z with this strength, you're going to be unstoppable. So number one, it's you identify the strength. Number two, it's you speak out that strength and you let them know that you see it. And then number three is you link that strength to why you believe they can win. Does that make sense? Let's just go through that one more time. Number one, identify the strength. Number two, let them know what that strength is and that you see that strength in them. Speak it out. Hey, I noticed this about you. Number three is you link that strength to why you believe they can win, why you believe that they can become a success story in your organization, in your business. And so let me give you an example of this, okay? One of the things that I did the other day, I did a business strategy call with one of the agents in my business. And I sat down with him. And one thing that I've noticed about him is he's extremely structured. He's extremely organized. And so what I did is I pointed that out. I said, hey, can I ask you a question? He goes, yeah. I said, you're super structured and organized, are you? He goes, yeah, I am, right? So it was a strength that he knew about him. It wasn't some strength that he had no idea about. It wasn't some random compliment that he's like, oh, really? You feel that way? No. I want to identify something that he knows deep in his heart is something that's true about him. So he said, you're very structured and organized. He said, yeah, I am. How did you know? And the way that I could tell is just the way that he communicates. He communicates in a very organized manner. He communicates in a very structured manner. He was extremely punctual to my meeting that I had with him. You could just tell that he was an organized person. So I identified that in him. And then I linked it to why I believe he's going to win. And I said, hey, listen, when I came into business, one of the things that I struggled with was organization. I'm not a naturally structured person. In fact, I'm the opposite, right? I said, if you looked at my desk, you would know that I'm not an organized person in any capacity. I said, but what I did is because I was chaotic and because I was all over the place, the moment I inserted structure into my business, I exploded. But the reason I didn't explode bigger and faster in business is because I had no organization. I had no structure. I said, so the fact that you're coming to the table with that structure already, that's just naturally a gift that God has given you. You're going to win so fast because business is very simple. It's copy and paste. And we've already given you the recipe and we've already organized it. We have structure. And because you're a structured person, if you just follow the system as the system is designed, if you just follow the steps that we lay out for you, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You will explode, you will have success, and you will win. And you could see his confidence start to really rise, to really go through the roof, right? I'll give you another example. I sat down with somebody and they're just one of the most genuine people in the world, meaning they're the type of person that they don't need to convince you that they care about you. You just have one interaction and you could just tell they care about people. And when I was with them, I said, can I ask you a question? They go, yeah. I said, you deeply care about people, don't you? Like you just wear it on your sleeve. Like you were just a genuine person. You care so much. Is that right? He goes, yeah. Like You could tell? I said, of course I could tell. I said, and that's why I think you're going to crush it here. You're going to crush it here. Because when you're sitting down with a client, every single client is going to know that you care deeply, because just part of who you are. When you sit down with an agent and you're working with that agent is always going to feel like you have their best interests. You don't need to convince me that you're a good person. The moment I met you, I could tell right away that you were a great person. You wear it on your sleeve, you radiate it, you vibrate at that frequency. I said, and every person that comes in contact with you is going to know that you care, and it's going to make it easier for people to trust you. And if people trust you, they do business with you. So one of the reasons I think you're going to kill it in this business is because you are that type of person that people trust right away. And so I'll give you another example. There was somebody I sat down with, and you could tell they're type A. I'm in a Zoom meeting with them, and they're moving around a lot. They're clicking a lot, right? They're touching the table a lot. They can't sit still. What does that mean? That means that they're type A. They're ready to take action. And as I'm sitting down with them, I say, hey, you're the type of person that just takes action blindly. Is that correct? Like, you just work hard, not saying that from a bad perspective, but you take action because you're super competitive. You want to win, you want to go, you want to figure it out. You're the type of person that you don't want to go to bed tonight until you've mastered it. Is that true? And he goes, yeah, how did you know? I said, I could just tell, right? I said, and by the way, that's why you're going to win here, because you're the type of person that doesn't just hear something. You're the type of person that doesn't go to bed until you've mastered it. You're obsessive. Is that correct? I said, that's a great thing. Obsessions are not bad as long as you obsess over things that serve you and help you become a better person and help you become a better contributor to this world. I said, I can tell that you're the type of person that gets very obsessed about that. I said, I love that. I love that. I could also tell you're super competitive. Is that right? I said, listen, man, you're going to be able to compete in this business. But imagine if you start competing with yourself, where every single month you try to beat what you did last month. Like, just imagine, and every month you're just finding out a new version of you. Wouldn't that be incredible? He goes, yeah, absolutely, right? And so I linked his gift to say, hey, you're type A. You're the people who are willing to not go to bed until they mastered something. Those are the type of people that crush it in business, do incredible in business. I'll give you another example. I sat down with somebody, and very detail-oriented, very technical person, very detail-oriented person. I said, can I ask you a question? He goes, yeah. I said, you're the type of person that doesn't just know things, like you deeply understand things. Like, you know all the details. Is that correct? Like, you're probably the person that's reading the books on all the products and services that we offer because you want to know everything about them. Is that accurate? He goes, yeah. How did you know? I said, I could just tell. I said, one thing that I'll tell you though, is people who know things that deep, there's a different level of conviction that they show up to appointments with. Meaning they're not operating from theory, and they don't doubt themselves at all because they genuinely and truly know it. And the fact that you're extremely detail oriented, the fact that you're very technical, meaning you know everything about the product, you know everything about the service. That's why I know for a fact you're going to crush it here, because there's not going to be a single question that people ask when you're in an appointment that you can't answer, because you know it inside and out. You've taken the technical route where you've learned all the technicalities. Like, you are going to be unstoppable because you know your information better than anyone else. And so what am I doing, guys? I am figuring out what people's strengths are, and then I'm linking it to why I believe they can win. I'm linking it to why I believe they can do incredibly well here. So in those hard moments, you're like, man, I'm struggling with this. If I just remind them, hey, you can do this. Remember, this is why. This is why I know for a fact you can do this. You start to link these God-given gifts that they know about themselves to why they can win. All of a sudden, you're going to have somebody that crushes it. Another thing that I try to do is I try to link people's backgrounds to why I believe they can win. So if I'm sitting down with somebody that's in the military, I'm going to link why somebody that has served our country, the attributes that they learned in the military, why it applies here, and why I think they can win. Maybe they played sports. I'm gonna link them playing sports to why I think they can win in this business. Maybe they have a background in working in the church. I'm going to link their background working into the church to why I believe that they can win. Maybe they were a school teacher. I'm going to link them being a school teacher to why I believe that they can win. As a leader, I am always looking for their qualities, their backgrounds, their characteristics, their traits, what they're good at, the things that they know about themselves. I'm constantly looking for a gift and or experience, and then I'm going to link that gift or experience to why I believe they can win. And if I can transfer that belief where they start to believe that they can win, I have somebody that's not going anywhere. Guys, you can win if nobody believes in you, but you'll never win if you don't believe in you. And my goal as a leader is to help people believe in themselves. And the best way to do that is to help people recognize their own giftedness. And if we can do that, your business will grow. So with that being said, if you guys got anything out of today's content, anything out of today's message, I'm just gonna ask that you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. We put out all this information for free for you, costs me money. And the only reason I do it is because of the feedback that I get from you guys. All I ask is that if you ever learn something, you tell a friend. I'll see you guys next week on the Leaders Only Podcast.
Let's get it. 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 Let's get it.